Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective, where you get a little bit of something and a whole lot of everything. Happy Thursday. I guess Thursday thoughts. We're continuing on with the Heal Yourself series, and it's just a short, limited series, right? Like three episodes of this. Like I mentioned yesterday, I pulled a couple I pulled 3 cards. Yesterday was the love card. And today, I don't know which one's going to come up. I know what both cards are, but I just don't know which one's going to come up. So, to be honest with you, out of the 3, the one we got yesterday was not the one I expected. So, alright, let's see what we got here. Courage. Courage. Courage entails a lot, right? So, you have, I don't know what this girl is doing behind this dude. But yesterday in the love card, there was like a voodoo doll on the table. I was like, oh, whoops. So these cards are not always as they seem. I mean, in the pictures, they tell a very big story, and it's up to you to interpret it. However, with courage, they're showing him, have courage. I think it would have been interesting, though, if they would have had her holding the lantern and, and him. But, you don't want to send the wrong message. So I think maybe she's a vampire. So I don't know. These are very interesting cards. I got it because it said Heal Yourself deck, and they were all really pretty, but it's to help transform your soul. So let's just get to it, okay? And I do like them. I'm not gonna lie, I do like them. Sometimes I think the pictures confuse me a little. But, what can I say? It's really probably not that hard. So, excuse my voice. It's still being all wacky. Courage requires you to fearlessly stride ahead despite the challenges you are experiencing. Whether you are afraid of success or failure, you cannot stay where you are. You need to make a decision and move forward with belief, trust, and boldness. Give it your all, no matter the outcome. Despite what you have been telling yourself, you are ready for a new adventure and another chance to prove that you have what it takes to face life's challenges. Stop investing in limitations, lack, and dysfunction. Every blessing has a challenge, and every challenge contains a blessing. You are ready to explore both. Whilst there may be difficult moments ahead, keep positive and believe that everything is going to work out for the absolute best. You are being asked to gather the courage to be who you truly are and to stand strong for your convictions. So speak your truth. Speak your truth. Speak from your heart, okay? Not to what you think everybody wants to hear. I don't want to say names, so I'm just going to say I was having a chat last night and we were talking about how they were driving and somebody was in a driveway and, to come out of like a fast food place or whatnot. And this person said, oh, well, I'm going to stop and let them out. And the person with them was like, why? Why? And they're all like, well, to be nice. And they're all, yeah, but the world isn't a nice place. And it's like, this is the uphill battle that we have. And we have to have the courage to be able to put this light into this world, to show people that, they can do what they want. They can be, who they want to be if they work towards it. And, your dreams may not happen exactly as, you intend them they may not happen exactly as you intend them to, but, I have a feeling that if you strive towards your dreams, you're going to land exactly where you're meant to be and you're going to be very happy with it. So try to look for the positive in all the things, it's like it says here, there is a blessing in the challenge, or every blessing has a challenge, and then every challenge has a blessing. And I saw a great meme the other day that says, if you do not challenge yourself, you cannot change yourself. So I'm not here to tell you to change yourself. I'm not here to tell you that you should be somebody different. I personally have changed. I have I've bloomed, I guess. I have blossomed. I have become the person that I was always afraid to be. Sometimes I might be a little outspoken. Sometimes I may not speak up enough, but I really am starting to speak my truth. But I'm also realizing that I can't force my truth on other people. You can speak your truth, but not everybody's going to listen, and you cannot force it on them. but be honest and truthful with yourself. Be authentic with yourself, and allow yourself to just know your own truths, because that's what's most important, is when we know, and we know our own truths. And yeah, we can share it, and everybody may not jump on board, but that's okay. You never know, some people might circle around, the wagons might circle later. Okay, so let's start from the beginning here. Courage requires you to fearlessly stride ahead despite the challenges you are experiencing. Yeah, I think we've all been here, right? How many times have we tried to move forward in something and it just feels like we're consistently pushed back, and we're just like, that's it, I'm over it, I'm done, I can't do this anymore. And you want to quit. Don't quit. Okay, if this is something that's important to you, if this is something that means something to you, and it's a message that you really want to put out there, just keep moving forward, even if it's just a message for yourself, to prove to yourself that you can do something. If it feels like the right thing, it's always going to have a challenge. Nothing is easy. I mean, some people make things look easy, but even they've had to hurdle obstacles. There's a great example I'm going to use from the show Mom. Okay. In the very last 2 episodes, maybe it was the last episode. Well, I don't know. It was the last 2 episodes, and this, they're kind of showing how the show came full circle, with a mom and a daughter constantly at each other's throats, just wanting to kill each other, both addicts, blah, blah, blah. And, the girl is just listening to all of the main characters. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so this, I'm so that. And she gets up and she leaves. And so then, the main character chases her down and says, wait, what? And invites her to coffee. And she says, well, you guys don't understand. And here's the thing. She's meeting these people in their place of healing, in their healed place, in the place that they have reached and worked towards every single day to stay there. But, you see the challenges throughout the show, and I don't know I don't have an alcoholic parent, but, older sibling grew up with one. And again, to lessen the confusion, older sibling is my best friend. We just kind of adopted each other as sisters. But she did. And she's very open about it, so I'm not giving anything away there. But I asked her, I said, how close to the truth is this show? And she's all, my mom and I didn't fight like they did. And she's all, obviously a lot of that's for a comedic purpose. But she says a lot of the interpersonal things were very accurate. And how when they kind of get into the deeper conversations in the show, and it's not about the comedy, she says a lot of that really just kind of, it feels very familiar. So, and so when the girl finds out all these things that they've all been through, you see the hope in her eyes. You see the light spark, like, oh, I can have this too. But it is going to take a lot of work. What I liked about the show is it wasn't just one long, merry-go-round of joy and happiness. I mean, they had relapses, they had, come to Jesus moments in this show. So it's really about, it really is about that challenge, but the blessing in the challenge. I mean, how many times have we thought we couldn't do something, and then we get to the other side of it and we're like, whoa, I totally didn't think I could do this. That was me, like every 5K I've ever done, like legit every 5K I've ever done. And it's just kind of like, oh, but then you get to the end, you get your medal, and you're like, oh my God, I did this. And 3 miles may not seem like a lot to somebody, but 3 miles is a lot for me, especially all at once. So, and this, it wasn't easy. Oh my God, my first one, I thought my calves were going to fall off of my legs, but it was a wonderful challenge. It really kind of, on a smaller scale, it really kind of reminds you, not just how human you are, but how possible things can be when when you make it possible, right? Make impossible possible. Or what does the meme say? I'm possible. So there you go. The next line. Whether you are afraid of success or failure, you cannot stay where you are. You need to make a decision and move forward with belief, trust, and boldness. Give it your all, no matter the outcome. So think of what would have happened if Nikola Tesla stopped, being creative, if he listened to all the naysayers that made fun of him and all the people, and what would happen if, Edison didn't hire all these people to come up with, ideas to work on his ideas. Yeah, that's a whole nother story for a whole different day. Everybody has opinions about that. But, where would we be without electricity? Where would we be without the light bulbs, the cameras, the technology? You know, the person that came up with the design for the flip phone said I remember seeing Star Trek as a kid, and I thought, wow, that'd be cool to have one of those. And so that was the design. That's what I've read. Okay. And I'm assuming that's the truth, because everybody that has ever seen Star Trek, the old Star Trek, we all say the same thing. Wow, that looks like they're communication devices. So somebody writes it in a book. Think H.G. Wells. Somebody writes it in a book, and someone gets a hair up their brain and says, wow, I'm going to try to invent this. But what would happen if they didn't? Right? I mean, electricity wasn't born overnight. As Ernest Hemingway would say, the first draft of anything is shit. And what does that mean? That means there's a second, third, fourth, fifth draft. There might be a 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th try on something. And it's, you know, you can look at them as failures, or you can look at them as ways that it won't work, and then find that way that will. But each time you're given something more. Okay, you're given something more. You might come up with something in the 8th try that wasn't there in the 5th try. That moves you towards that 12th try that, you know, hits the nail on the head. So, give it your all, no matter the outcome. Despite what you have been telling yourself, you're ready for a new adventure and another chance to prove that you have what it takes to face life's challenges. Stop investing in limitations, lack, and dysfunction. So, if you feel like you're stuck, maybe the new adventure, it's not always about picking up and running away. Okay, it's not always about picking up and moving away. Sometimes it's about, you know, picking yourself up by your bootstraps and saying, okay, how can I continue to move forward? Courage is hard, all right? Courage is the biggest part of healing, because you have to be courageous enough to make that choice to heal. And if we don't make that choice, we're just going to stay stuck. So the new adventure could be, what if I let go? It could be something as simple as this. And this may not seem simple to you, but my healing is in a whole different place now. Everything else that I'm healing is linear to all the work I've already done, and to the place I'm at now. But what if I stopped? What if those moments where it got so hard, where I literally, one day I was just, you know, trying to make my bed by I was putting fresh sheets on it. And, you know, my bed, because my room is small, it's up against a wall. So I have to do everything sitting on the bed for the other side of the bed. And I'm telling you, it was like sheets in bed 1, Shelly Marie 0. And when I finally got them on there, after 10 minutes of fighting with it, which I don't know why it was that hard. It's usually not that hard. I literally just laid there and cried. And I'm like, I can't do this. I cannot do this. I feel like I've been on this healing journey for so long. I feel like I'm done. And I thought I hit bottom, but I just hit a bump in the road. And if I would have quit, you know, all that time ago, like 2 years ago, basically, you know, my healing is slow, has been slow, because there has been a lot to heal, but also because I haven't always had the courage to move forward. I haven't always had the courage to see myself in the mirror and say, hey, you're worthy of this. You deserve this. You know, have some self-respect. And I think a lot of us lack that. I think a lot of us might even be afraid to love ourselves, to have that self-respect, to have that courage, or that, you know, to show that courage in ourselves to recognize the self-worth or self-respect that we deserve. Maybe you've been beaten down through life. I know a lot of people who have been just, you know, emotionally and verbally abused throughout their life. Not me. I'm very grateful for that. Mine was the other kind. But that sticks, right? That sticks. That leaves a wound that doesn't heal on the surface. And it leaves kind of it's like super glue, right? These thoughts just stick to your psyche, and you got to pull it off like it's an act of God. So, you know, you have to be stronger than the negative voices, and that takes courage. And that could be your new adventure, saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to go down this road now, because this is the road that's, it's undetermined. It's unknown. It's going to be scary as shit, but it's probably going to lead me where I need to be, because this road over here, it's got obstacles, it's got roadblocks. All it does is irritate me, make me angry, and make me sad and want to cry, and, you know, tear the sheets off the bed and throw them out the window. So you have to be courageous enough to take, you know, to take the road that suits you best, and to walk away from that comfort zone in order to find that healing. So every blessing has a challenge, and every challenge contains a blessing. You are ready to explore both. Whilst there may be difficult moments ahead, keep positive and believe that everything is going to work out for your absolute best. So I'm just going to pile on to the last comments I had made. When I was laying on the bed, I literally, it was, the thoughts in my head were not pretty. I was, had a lot of, ideation going on, for those of you that understand that. I don't want to trigger anyone, so we're not going to go there with the word today, but there was a lot of that happening, and I was done. I felt so done. I felt so defeated. But in that challenge, there was a blessing, because I sat there, and while I was laying there crying my eyeballs out, I kept seeing in my head as I was, you know, as I was crying. It was almost like I was clearing out my head, because all you can focus on at some point when you got so much snot up your face that you have to focus on your breathing, because you're like, oh my God, I can't breathe now. I can't breathe through my nose. I got to breathe through my mouth. But while you're doing that, you're accidentally meditating, in my opinion. And I think I accidentally meditated, and I started thinking, look how far I've come. Do you really want to quit right now? Do you really want to throw in the towel? Do you really want to, you know, let all this stuff that you've worked so hard to move through defeat you? And that was the blessing in that challenge. And that challenge had a blessing, because from that moment on, I really truly decided that the promise I had made to other people, that I would not, as people are trying to say now, unalive myself, I wanted to break those promises. But I also had these thoughts rolling through my head, the ideation and everything. And I can honestly say it's been over a year since I have had any of those thoughts. When they come up, I just like, nope, not today, not today, not dealing with you today. You know, come knock tomorrow, and maybe, you know, and I still won't answer the door. So bye. And, when I see that now, and I see where I was in that moment where I felt so defeated by a fitted sheet, I know it sounds dumb, but that fitted sheet was everything. That was my anger, my pain. It was the hole that I was in. And to know that something like that was just kind of the straw that broke the camel's back, I really started thinking, look how far you've come. And that was the blessing in that challenge. Maybe I had to hit that bottom, you know, and that doesn't mean I haven't hit bottom since, but they're different bottoms. They're different things that have needed healing, and they're different things that have brought me back to the core of myself to remind myself how to climb out. Okay. And I'm very grateful again to my support group. You know, I mean, and when I say support group, it's not one I actually attend, although they do have those. So if you don't have a strong support system, find a group of like-minded people that can help you through. You are welcome to reach out to me. You know, I'll listen. I'll do what I can. But for me, I'm very grateful. You know, I have my friend Sammy, who has been one of my best friends for almost 2 decades now. You know, she'll see some of the things I'll post on Instagram, and she just knows when it's not a good day. And older sibling and baby sibling. And, you know, there's others. I know there's others I can reach out to, but these are the 3 who really kind of get my brain, and who know my brain, and who have kind of been there themselves. You know, I'm just kind of feeling like they're spinning in circles. So have a good support system too. You know, I'm very, very grateful for that. So the last one, you are being asked to gather the courage to be who you truly are, and to stand strong for your convictions. Now, this is where your authentic self comes in. You know, you see people out there, right, that are out there protesting, doing marches, doing walks. And I think that's amazing. I absolutely think that's amazing. I have no idea how to tap into that, but there's a lot of things that I wish I were out there for. There's a lot of things that sibling and I will see something, will be like, we should go do this. But, by the time we get our act together, everything's done. So, who knows? Maybe down the road, something like that will happen. But, even if it's just through social media, have the courage to be who you truly are and to stand strong for your convictions. Not everyone's going to agree with you. I'm not saying all convictions are going to match my own, because there's a lot of things that I think are being said out there right now that are very misguided, that are very manipulative. So we have to be stronger than the negativity. We have to be stronger than the people who are trying to tear the other people down. And they may be standing strong for their convictions. So you also can't blame them, because this is something they believe. Just like what you believe is what you believe. So instead of fighting and being that troll that has to sit there and just make nasty comments on people's things, which drives me nuts, just put your light out there. I know it seems counterproductive. I know that putting our light out there feels like, like trying to outshine the sun, right? And that's not going to happen. But you can be a star, right? You can be, just like the sun is a star. You can be a star. Be a star out there and shine your light on people, because somebody is listening. Somebody is doing something. I don't have a lot of followers when I do this video. Right now, I think everyone's still trying to find me. So, because they don't realize I've moved the show to my blogging page on Facebook. And so I'm kind of just preaching to myself, right? I'm doing a live for myself right now. And, it will go up on YouTube. I will do the shorter version on TikTok. Honestly, I think I get more traction on TikTok than anywhere else. It does go on to Instagram later, and I do share it to Twitter. But I don't stop. I see all these people out there doing dumb things that have all these numbers, and that's okay. That's it. I know dumb things is my opinion, but when you put your life in danger and you put other people's lives in danger with all these ridiculous challenges, it's just like, oh, Lord, what has happened? It really challenges your spiritual side. But we just got to do what we got to do. Okay. We have to put our word out there. We have to put our light out there, our positivity out there, because that's truly what's important. Somebody out there will listen, and it will create a ripple effect. Whether whether you can see them in your numbers or not. It's not the numbers that matter. A lot of people want to be influencers because, they like the attention and they like this and they can make money off of it. And that's fine. That's great. That's, their thing. I'm just doing this because a couple years ago, baby sibling said, "You got a lot to say and the world needs to hear it." And it was hard those first couple of times, because I was a little camera shy. And now here I am. So now I'm trying to remind her, it's like, you had a lot to say too, so put your stuff out there. But it takes courage. It takes courage to continually come back and stand up for what you believe in, even if a lot of people aren't on your side, or if a lot of people are on your side. And I apologize if I sounded catty when it comes to all that other stuff with the influencers. They can do them. I promise I wasn't trying to sound catty. It may have come out that way, and I don't know, maybe subconsciously it might have, but as they say, you do you, right? And there's nothing I can do about it. I can just keep my eyes on my own page. And I really should. I should just keep my eyes on my own page and do what I do best. And that's to share these things. And yeah, I'm getting it out of a book because I thought, you know what? These are some good messages. And I really, really know. I actually just pulled these for my own journaling purposes. And I thought, whoa, something in my head clicked and said, we should do this. I should do this in a show. Because, I think it'll really touch people. I think it'll really help people. So have the courage. And again, courage requires you to fearlessly stride ahead despite the challenges you are experiencing. Don't quit right before the finish line. Don't stop right before the miracle. All right. And you never know what the miracle or when the miracle or where the finish line is unless you keep going. You have to keep moving forward. Okay. Perseverance. Ho'omau, right? Like I say, the Hawaiian word for perseverance and moving forward, and keep moving forward. So there is an action on here. We'll do it really quick. In order for you to succeed in what you desire, you need to prepare for the challenges ahead. Make a list of the support you need to tackle the approaching opportunities. Become aware of what or who you are afraid of. Imagine that this fear takes on the shape of a person. What does he or she look like? Look this fear in the eyes. Tell it what you are willing to learn from it and master the lesson, but you are not willing to be a slave to it. Imagine loving your fear and taking steps forward. Now, I know, right? Everyone's all, imagine loving your fear. So on a very small level, I have a fear of clowns. Okay? I really do. And I know this is another one. No, I'll save that fun fact for another day. One of the weirdest things that I have a phobia about. And I didn't even know it existed. I had to Google it. So I was like, is this really a phobia? And it is. And I know it's... I know. I'm just going to tell you. It's the bottom of boats. I don't get it. Like if I see a boat in dry dock, or I cannot talk today. If I see a boat in dry dock and I can see anything that might have been under the water, it freaks me out. And I don't know why. I have no idea why that is a thing. I remember at one point in my mid-40s, I thought, for my 50th birthday, I'm going to start training. I really want to swim the English Channel. I think it would be great. I know it's not an easy feat, and there's a lot you have to do to be able to do it. And then I started kind of watching videos of people and I'm just like, these boats that are sometimes in the shipping channel, I was just like, oh, hell no. And I mean, even out here, when, you go to the Queen Mary, sometimes the water's a little bit lower and I can see that water line and it's just like, oh, it just freaks me out. I know it's weird, but that's not what I was going to talk about. I don't like clowns. I have not liked clowns since I was a child. I don't know why. Maybe it was when I saw Poltergeist as a kid and that freaky ass clown that came to life. But, the funny thing is Pennywise the clown, the old one from the original TV miniseries, doesn't scare me. The new one doesn't scare me. Like, clowns that are supposed to be scary don't scare me, but regular clowns do. And every time I've gone to Comic-Con, like older sibling or one of my friends is trying to, get me to take a picture with a clown to kind of overcome this phobia. And, I looked my fear in the eyes, and then one time my friend said, oh, hey, come take a picture with this guy. He looked like a death clown. All right, like literally somebody who would like haunt your dreams. And he kept trying to scare me, but for some reason I just wasn't scared. And I felt bad, so instead of being afraid, I actually felt bad. I mean, but the first thing I did was, instead of being afraid, I challenged myself to look him in the eyes. And that is not easy for me, guys, because I struggle with eye contact. But just because I'm so shy. And I don't know why, right? Because it doesn't seem like I'm shy. I mean, I can be the most outgoing person in the world, and then all of a sudden it's like, So it's just, but I challenged myself to look him in the eyes and realize that underneath all of this is someone who's just like me. And, but loves to dress up like a killer clown. And it didn't get under my skin. So really, I looked my fear in the face. And I know that's on a very smaller level, because this is talking about, you looking at your challenges, looking at your healing, looking at all these different things in the eyes and learning how to love it. When we embrace our fears and show it love, it becomes less and less scary. When we have courage and face our challenges with love, go in love, right? It becomes less and less scary, because we're looking at it from a place of, I know where this is going to get me, not, holy crap, how am I going to do this? And that thought might come up, halfway through your journey. You might be like, Jesus, what was I thinking? Right? I mean, I've known people that have started their healing journeys and are like, I can't do this. And I always try to gently encourage them, because you can't force anyone to do anything, and we can't fix other people other than ourselves. But I do try to gently encourage people, please don't give up. If you need to take a break, take a break. If you need to stop for a little bit, stop for a little bit. And I think for me, that's why the healing process was so long for me, because there was so much I had buried deep inside of me that I really had to take a lot of stops. The problem with me, though, is once I stop, it's not always easy for me to get going again. So it's just kind of like, yeah, whatever, until, I fall apart again. And it's like, oh, right. So really focus on that, check in with yourself every day so that you don't lose track of time. And remind yourself that, are you taking a break, and are you still on this break because you're afraid to go back to it, or because you still need to rest a little bit? All right. So, again, look your fear in the eyes, tell it that you're willing to learn from it and master the lesson, to basically overcome that fear. All right. Have courage, my friends. I believe in you. I know you can do this. If you need to seek professional help while you go through these things, and the stigma, guys. Stop the stigma. Just get the help you need. And you can do it online. You can do it in the comfort of your own home. You can do it in the comfort of your own car at lunchtime. You can do this stuff anywhere. I usually go in person because if I don't, I turn into a squirrel and I'm everywhere. I'm not making fun of people with ADD, but sometimes I really think I do have it because everything distracts me. And so, or when I don't want to talk about something, it starts to distract me. So when I'm in person, my therapist keeps me on track. So, and I do like the person to person thing, so, but there is the option for me to also do it online. And I just told her no, because we'll get nowhere, because I will just be like, la la la, squirrel. Okay. So have courage. Oh, just like in Cinderella, right? Let's end it with that from the Cinderella movie. When Cinderella's mother told her when she was dying, have courage and be kind. Okay? Have courage and be kind. I will see everybody back here tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Pacific Time, Facebook Live on the Aloha Perspective Facebook page, or you can catch the replay if you want to click and subscribe on YouTube. So you don't have if you're not a Facebook person, and you can catch it there. That's the longer version. If you prefer the short drive-through version, as I call it, or maybe I should call it mobile ordering, right? If you prefer the mobile ordering quick option, I also will go through this on TikTok, but a lot shorter. And I also upload that to the Aloha Perspective page on Instagram. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you again so much for watching. And remember, one last time, have courage and be kind.